Hey, Scruffy. How come you're over there? You would like that mat, huh? So I have, let's see, a fresh can of cat food. It's the Super Supper meaty pate. And kibble, and your earth for deworming. And they put some extra chicken skin in there also. But not as much as last night. There hasn't been as much grease or moisture in the pates recently, so when I put the earth in there, it's really dry. So I figured I'd put some extra chicken skin in there. I was going to save it for tomorrow, but yeah, it was really dry, so I thought the chicken skin would help. Don't worry, there's more chicken skin tomorrow. Okay, Scruffy's ready to go. I think I heard a cough. There's another cough. So the weather cooled down a little bit today. Still a pretty nice day. So if the weather stayed like this all the time, that would be very, very nice. So I think it's going to heat up a little bit the next few days, and then it looks like we may get another heat wave. Although this next heat wave, it looks like it's going to be longer, but it's not as hot as the last one that was projected, which actually turned out not to be bad at all. But yeah, we are headed for higher temperatures. And I mean, I need to start using my fans all the time, and eventually, yeah, probably the air conditioning. And meanwhile, all the plants are probably going to die because we didn't get any rain. I was thinking I needed to water today, but didn't get around to it. I had trouble falling asleep last night, but did manage to actually stay asleep. But I woke up late today, so now my schedule's all probably messed up again. Just trying to get it back to a little bit earlier. I haven't been getting enough sleep, so it's like a balancing act. So let's see. Oh yeah, I mentioned yesterday I was cooking chicken. That's why there's a chicken skin. So I decided to finally do a proper cheat meal. I've had a pack of chicken I've been thinking about using for a while. So it's not the. So usually I buy the ones from Costco, and it's kind of a. So I used this clause that time, and it's kind of a crapshoot about how many pieces you get in a particular package. You can't really tell. But yeah, I think I was at a one of the local grocery stores, and I think they had some chicken thighs on sale at one point. And so I bought a big pack from them. But this it comes in the more standard foam plate container, so it's really long. Where the Costco ones, they kind of pack it up, so it's a thicker package, and they're kind of stacked up on each other. That's why you can't really tell how many pieces are in there. The problem with the foam package is, it's all very long, and so it's been kind of awkward to keep in my freezer. It's flat, so at least it's thinking to stack things on top of it, but because it's kind of long, it's been awkward to deal with, especially as I move things around. So anyway, I decided to finally use that, and I finally decided I was going to do something a little nicer with it. So I have a recipe for the pressure cooker for Rogan Josh. Climbed again. He's using his claws though. So I haven't had Indian food in a really long time. So it's one of the many things I've been craving. So I've been also mentioning tacos, but I prefer beef tacos over chicken tacos. I don't have to use up the chicken. Beef's too expensive right now anyway. So the recipe was given to me by one of my cousins. She subscribed to some cooking publication, and I think it was like a free trial or something like that. And then I think like on our last week or something like that, I think they were permitting her to share recipes with friends and family members. And presumably it was promotional type stuff. So anyway, I got a link, and among one of her recipes that caught my eye was this Rogan Josh. So I really like Vindaloo and Rogan Josh in terms of Indian food, and so when I saw there was a Rogan Josh recipe, it caught my eye. I really don't know how to cook Indian food, and I've been warned by people who do cook Indian food that if you do it enough, you can't get the smell of curry out of your house. So do it sparingly or don't do it at all. But since we've been in lockdown and everything's expensive, I don't really want to go out to a restaurant. So I was willing to try the recipe. And it doesn't actually taste like what I get in the restaurant, but it still had a nice flavor to it, so I still enjoyed it. So I've kept the recipe, but I've only cooked it a few times. So I thought I'd finally cook it again. It's probably not authentic, but it has a nice flavor, so it's still enjoyable. But I forgot. It's a little more involved in preparation than what I normally expect for a pressure cooker recipe. So there's actually three stages, and I always forget about the third stage. So the first stage, you have to saute a bunch of stuff ahead of time. And then the second stage is the typical pressure cooker thing. You just let it sit. And then I always forget about the third stage. So right after you're done with the pressure cooker stage, you're supposed to take out the chicken, and then you're supposed to boil the sauce for another 15 minutes to basically thicken it. And then after you thicken it, you add yogurt to it, and then you finally put it all back together, and then you can have your dish. I always forget about that last step. So it's a little more involved than I always remember, because I think I'm ready to eat, and it's like, oh no, we've got spend another 20 minutes or so on top of what you've already done to put everything together. Okay, Scruffy's ready. Ready for your food, Scruffy? Yeah, I think you are. You want a headbutt, huh? Okay, let's get your food. Okay, here it comes. I'm gonna get it on the plate or the mat. So still a lot of fur that's shedding underneath his body. It's not pulling out, so it's still going to be a while, I think, before it all comes out. If it's like last year, I think we'll be doing this for another month. Or, well, he's going to be shedding for another month anyway. Yeah, so anyway, I think this morning I saw him on the table sleeping, and it was then a little bit later I came back. So see, I woke up later today, so I didn't see him early morning. And when I came back, he had woken up, and I think I was putting some dishes away in the kitchen or something. And he woke up and he saw me. And he, I think, got closer to the window, and he looked in and looked directly at me. And so I think he was trying to communicate to me that he wanted me to come out with his water. So we were a couple hours still to our normal lunchtime where I bring out the water. So, but basically he stared at me, and then he decided to jump off the table, and then he walked over here to the gray mats near the door and continued to look at the kitchen, I guess anticipating or telling me that it's time to come out with the water bowl. So I brought out the water, and I think there were some light meows. I can't remember if there was a hiss or not. Hey, Scruffy. Okay, so I got your water. Okay. I don't think he was on his best behavior, but he wasn't on his worst either. So he tolerated me when he put the water down and went back in. And then, I think he came over to the door after he was done drinking. And I didn't know what to do with him at that point, so I didn't want to lead him on, so I closed the blinds. Indicated that, yeah, I wasn't going to bring him out any food or anything like that. So I didn't want him waiting, hoping I'd come out with food or something. So he disappeared, I think, for most of the day. I didn't see him. I thought he'd be on the table again later this afternoon. But yeah, he, as far as I know, did not come back on the table. And it wasn't until the very end of the day that I see him out in the open part of the deck sleeping. Yeah, an interesting note. Last night when I was after I finished feeding Scruffy, and I was working on that last phase of my recipe. I noticed Scruffy had jumped back on the big table, and he was near the bag of treats, and so I think he was sniffing around looking for more food. I was a little surprised because he left pretty decisively last night, and I gave him extra food last night, including the extra chicken skin. So I was surprised that he'd be back looking for more food. And then he saw me, sort of like earlier or today when he saw me on the table. He then walked closer to the window, looked in also, and then he decided to jump off the table. And I presume he probably came over here and waited at the door. But this was right after I fed him last night. I wasn't going to feed him again, so and I needed to finish cooking my recipe. So I didn't come out. I didn't see if he was out here sitting near the door. I was just hoping he'd just go back to what he was doing. I thought maybe he'd come back on the table when I didn't come to the door, but I didn't see him the rest of the night. So, but I don't know. Maybe he's starting to think by looking at me in the window, he can command me to come out here. That's his way of communicating to me now. Unfortunately, we're not completely getting our signals right because I don't always come out here when he's looking at me on the table. I'll do it sometimes, but usually those sometimes are that correspond to our normal food drop times. Okay, so I need to think. Okay, so today we just opened up the Super Supper. Last time we were on the. What was it? I already forgot. Oh, I think we were on the Ocean Whitefish. So we've had 2 mini patés. So after this can is done, I think we're going to rotate back into one of the hearty cuts. And I haven't decided if I'm going to give him the smelly fish or the new flavor, the turkey. And I haven't decided if I'm going to give him a day off on the earth. Because I don't know if it changes the flavor. And if I give him the new flavor of turkey, I feel like I should give him a taste of it without the earth screwing up the taste. We'll give him 1 day of this is the good stuff, what it's supposed to taste like, and then give him the earth. And then after I'm done with the earth treatment, I'll eventually get another round. But for the first time, I don't know. First, I could save it, and then I can just keep giving him the earth, and then eventually, when it comes back around to it, and I'm not giving him the earth, I'll finally get even a better taste, maybe, of what the turkey's supposed to taste like. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. So I went for an interval run today. Because the weather cooled down, I was on the fence about whether I should take the day off from running or if I should do it today. Because I had that unplanned bicycle trip yesterday for the special park festival. And so, yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing either biking or running. Well, I was thinking possibly running yesterday, depending on how hot it was gonna be. But since I went biking yesterday, I was thinking maybe I should take it easy. But the weather cooled down, and I left for my walk, and I was still on the fence. And so when I finally got to the park, I decided I'd try the interval, and it was kind of terrible in the sense of my performance. It got my heart rate up at least, but my time-wise for the intervals were kind of bad. But it wasn't my legs that were actually bothering me, so I guess that was good. And I saw the friendly cat sleeping in that same courtyard I saw him the other day. I didn't bring my camera, but he was sound asleep, so he didn't come over for pets. I saw the porch cat, as usual. Yeah, I don't think Scruffy's going to lick the bowl anymore. So I think he's done. He's kind of bent over. I'm a little worried he's going to throw up, but he's not gagging, so. Okay, there he goes. He's been making a hard exit, stage left, for the past few days. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.